People of Reddit. Americans who's been overseas. What's one thing that made you go, oh, we are not in America anymore? I went to Jordan as a kid in 2007. My very first experience there, when leaving the airport, was witnessing a pickup truck driving the wrong way on a highway with a goat in the back. Why does this simultaneously surprise and not surprise me? Russia. Watching stray dogs in Moscow using the subway system and stand in line to get on and off the trains like people too. Seeing a group of cows wait at a crosswalk and only cross after all the cars came to stop. In the middle of the night I got into a subway car, turned in a flash rave party, complete with a DJ, lights, and a bar. At a construction site I saw who appeared to be the boss roast a pig and make soup off a campfire. Once it was done, he brought out a table, chairs, a tablecloth, chinaware, salad and wine. Then he called the construction workers to have lunch. A normal day in Russia. When I went back to visit China a few years ago to see relatives in the countryside and had to squat to use the toilet pretty much everywhere, as the toilets are literally a hole in the ground with a plumbing system. This was everywhere from homes to movie theaters. I could not manage that at all. 20 years in a desk job, my thighs are like jelly. Same. I would have to balance myself by putting my hands on the floor beside the poop hole. After this mental image I can never travel overseas. I ran into a person in Canada. Totally my fault. And he said sorry first. This made me realize, are you blind? Was not the only response to it. In Canada, they had to pass a law that says saying sorry is not an admission of guilt. Driving in countries without proper roadwork or control is awful. Everybody is driving mopeds holding babies with no helmet on, going on the highway. It's just kind of a holy moment. And standing casually barefoot on 45-foot tall bamboo scaffolding, no helmet, holding a rake. Well, who else is gonna rake the sky? It's not gonna blow itself. When I was 12, I went to go visit my family in the Philippines. Coming from Central Ohio, this was like night and day. I go into the bathroom and see a 55-gallon plastic bucket with a plastic 1-quart ladle and a spigot sticking out of the wall. I walked back in and asked my mom where the shower was. She said that was the shower. Showers are more old than I thought then. In Brazil, a large truck hit and killed somebody on motorcycle. The driver of the truck got out, threw the dead motorcyclist in the back of his truck, and then drove the body to the local police station and dumped the body out front. The local police thanked the truck driver for saving them the trouble of collecting the body and didn't interview the truck driver further. I hit this guy with my truck. Was an oh well happens thing. I asked for a bottle of water in Iceland. The guy just shakes his head and goes, "You don't need that," and filled me up a cup from the tap. We were told to save the bottles from our flight and just fill from the taps. It was the best water. No lines in Indonesia. Just push and shove your way around. You have to use special trash bags in Belgium, or they won't pick your trash up, and your neighbors will hate you. I didn't know for like 2 weeks. Went to Japan. Walked around Tokyo at night around bars. Being naturally tall, I had so many women hide around me, like a giant mountain, to get away from drunk perverts. Nobody in the US world given me a second thought in regards to protection. But I guess me being a tall American, I'm automatically a god to these drunk idiots. Also, met my fiance through that method, so something positive came from that experience. Good man. I know. All I did was stand there and looked confused. Never knew it was this easy to get girls to swarm you. One time when I was leaving my parents' country, Ecuador, we stumbled across a dead horse carcass with, I kid you not, a chunk of his ass meat gone. Naturally this sparked a curiosity to all of us. So we asked our driver, why would there be a dead horse on the side of the road? He explained that sometimes robbers will put dead animals, or people looking for help, to get vans/buses, to stop and help/look. After that is when the ambush comes and will rob/kill/kidnap tourists. This specific road is one of the main roads to get to the airport in Guayaquil. Mrs. left her handbag on a train in Japan called Junior Line. They found it and delivered to her home address on the same day. As a Brit, I'm in awe. Sorry you said American peeps. I can tell you the opposite of this. The first time I went to the US I got confused in the airport trying to figure out where baggage claim was also the first time I'd flown and asked a cop. He was casually leaning his elbow on his firearm whilst talking to me, and I asked him if he wouldn't mind not doing that because it was making me super nervous. His response, "Oh, you're English, I'm sorry. I mean, I knew US police carried guns. It was just surprising to see it in person and not in the movies." Anyway, he told me where baggage claim was located. And on the other side of the story, I ended up living in the US. And then the first time my kids visited the UK, they met some local police and immediately asked them why they didn't have guns. The UK cop said, "Well, we generally prefer to talk to criminals instead of shooting them." I lolled. In Israel, all people serve in the military for 2 to 3 years. When they graduate high school, even when they are off duty, they carry a weapon. So you'd see young late teen/early 20-somethings out and about, dressed for a nice dinner or whatever, with a machine gun slung over their shoulder. One weird thing that happens, because everyone is pretty much in the military reserves, is that your work boss can be a lower military rank than you. So you sir him in the office, and he sir you at the military training. We took our 10 and 12-year-old boys to Italy, and when we sat down at dinner, they brought wine glasses for 4 and asked if the boys will be enjoying wine with dinner. I was on the beach in Aruba, and I watched as a man died of a heart attack at the water's edge. Their emergency services slowly walked up to the scene 35 minutes after the guy started having his heart attack, attempted to restart his heart, failed, and then left his body on the beach. That's wild. I got drunk in France and had no place to stay, so I slept on the beach in a sun chair, woke up and everyone was nude. You must have felt that you were dreaming lol. I was in Vidado in Havana, and a couple whole city blocks lost power in the middle of the day for several hours. I asked a local, and he looked at me like I was crazy, because apparently it happens all the time. Apartments that are American go for a premium. Acre apartments built in the 50s. Sitting in a Korean chicken restaurant in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, and out comes a live Kyrgyz band that proceeds to start playing Beatles songs. Yep, definitely not in Kansas anymore. You haven't lived until you've heard "Hey Jude" played by a Kyrgyz band while eating way too spicy Korean chicken. When I went to Japan, I took a huge dump before I even got to customs. I just had to check out those toilets and get my ass sprayed with water to see what it was like. Was it all you hoped and dreamed for? I was in South Africa, and I went to tip a guy $50 for driving me around all day, and the guy I was with covered the money, looked around, and was low-key like, "Put that away man," like I had just pulled out illegal contraband. They were both super worried we were going to get robbed for the next few hours. First time traveling to Japan on business. Got on a bus with my native Kawaka Minato. Saw a kid hop on the bus, maybe 5 to 8 years old. No one else boards and the doors close. I'm sitting there staring like WTF is going on. My Kawaka, what's wrong? Me, dude, that kid looks 5. He's just riding the bus alone. My Kawaka, yeah, what's up? Me, someone might take him/it's dangerous. Him, well, are you gonna take him? Me, obviously no. Him, then we are good. Didn't know it was very normal for really young kids to ride public transport alone. First time when I was stationed in Okinawa. First meal was McDonald's. They had the double Big Mac, and it was the size shown on the menu. Not being able to be on your phone while walking down the street. If you did, there was a good chance you'd get it stolen. I was in South Africa,